Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to study the discounted methods of investment valuation. Okay. In discounted methods, I have already discussed in the previous videos that discounted methods use the present value or the time value of money. They use the present value factors. Okay. In the previous video, we also studied how to use the present value factors. So today we're going to start with the discounted methods of evaluating investment decisions. Okay. The first and the most important method that we use for evaluation of investment decision using discounted method is NPV, that is net present value. Okay. Now what is net present value? In simple words, net present value is the excess of present value of cash flows after tax on the initial investment. That means NPV is equal to summation of present value of cash flows after tax. Okay, always understand PV represents present value of CFAT is cash flows after tax. Okay, always remember we have to use cash flows after tax, whether it is discounted methods or non-discounted methods. We have to use cash flows after tax. In the further videos, I'll also take a problem where cash flows before tax are given and how do we convert it into after tax. But right now, you just understand that whichever method we use, whether it is discounted methods or non-discounted methods, we have to always consider cash flows after tax. So what is the formula of NPV? NPV is equal to summation of present values of cash flows after tax minus initial investment. Okay. Then there is a selection criteria. What is the selection criteria for NPV? If NPV is greater than 0, that means if the NPV is positive, then we accept the project. If NPV is less than 0, that is if NPV is negative, we reject the project. And if NPV is 0, that is neutral, then we can either accept it or reject it depending on the situation. Okay, so again I'll repeat the formula. NPV is equal to summation of present value of cash flows after tax minus initial investment. Similarly, I'll first take profitability index or benefit cost ratio and then we'll go for the problem, because NPV and PI or profitability index are almost similar to each other. The calculations are almost similar, except that here we deduct, here we divide. Okay, here we are deducting summation of present value of cash flow minus initial investment, whereas in case of PI we are dividing it, that is summation of present value of cash flows after tax divided by initial investment. Okay, so what is profitability index or benefit cost ratio? It is the measure of rupee return from a particular project or investment. So if I invest 1 rupee, how much will I get back from that is given by profitability index. So what is the formula for profitability index? The formula is summation of present value of cash flows after tax divided by initial investment. So I hope you are understanding the similarity between these two formulas. This is summation of cash flows after tax minus initial investment. Here it is divided by initial investment. Then there is a selection criteria here too. What is the selection criteria here? If PI is greater than 1, except now here PI cannot be minus, it has to be plus always. So but it would be either greater than 1 or less than 1. If it is greater than 1, you accept the project. That means if you invest 1 rupee, you are getting more than a rupee. So it would be greater than 1. If PI is less than 1, you reject the project. And if PI is equal to 1, again you either accept it or reject it depending on the situation. So this is the introduction to NPV and PI. I hope you're clear with the theoretical concepts of NPV and PI. Okay. So remember the formula. It is summation of present value of cash flows after tax minus initial investment for NPV, and for PI it is summation of present value of cash flows after tax divided by initial investment. So now let us take a very simple problem on NPV and PI to make us understand this concept more clearly. Okay, so this is the problem given. Calculate NPV and PI at 10% discount factor for the following. Okay, always remember, whenever a question comes on discounted methods, they have to mention the discount factor. The discount factor has to be mentioned. Sometimes they may give cost of capital, that itself should be considered as discount factor. In this case, they have clearly mentioned 10% discount factor for the following. Okay, so the discount factor is 10%, remember that. Now again, years are given 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and cash flows after tax are directly given to us. I have already discussed what is zero period. Zero period, yes, it is initial investment. So zero period is initial investment, that is 2 lakh is your initial investment. Then your cash flows after tax are 50,000, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50,000, 2 lakh and 2 lakh 50,000 respectively for year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let's start with the solution. Okay, first we take the years, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, 0 is initial investment, so should not be considered over here. So it is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the cash flows, that is 50,000, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50,000, 2 lakh and 2 lakh 50,000, which are considered over here directly. Now this is important here. Then we consider present value factor at 10%. Okay, now we have to first find out the present value of factors at 10% for year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 separately. Okay, now first question to you would be whether I should use the present value factor or future value factor. Definitely I have to use present value factor because it is clearly mentioned over here. It is present value factor. Now the next question would be whether I should use a lump sum factor or annuity factor. Always remember, when the cash flows are not uniform, when the cash flows are separate, we have to use a lump sum factor. Okay, we cannot use annuity factor. We have to use the lump sum factor when the cash flows are not even or not uniform. So we have to use the present value lump sum factor. So how do we get this present value lump sum factor? For that we have to refer the present value table. Okay, so let's just refer the present value table. Okay, so here it is, our tables, factor tables, where the first two tables, if you remember, first table is about future value of lump sum, second table is about future value of annuity, so we are not going to use these two tables. Third table is about present value of single cash flow. I have already told you single cash flow means lump sum. So this is the table that I am going to use for this particular problem. Now if you remember, in the problem that said the discount factor is 10% and we have to find out the factors for 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 years. So we have to take the factors for these 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and at what rate? We have to consider the rate at 10%. Okay, so the rate 10% is over here for 5 years, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if you see, there are 4 digits given, but normally we consider 3 digits. So the factors would be 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, okay, 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683 and 0.621. We are rounding this off to 6 to 1. So always remember, this is how we calculate the factors from the or this is how we get the factors from the factor table. So remember these factors. We are going to use these factors in the solution. Okay, so coming back to the solution, if you see the factors, we have taken it from the factor table, that is 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683 and 0.621. I am repeating, we have taken this factor from present value of lump sum or present value of single cash flow for 10% for year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I hope you are clear with this factors now, because these factors play a very important role when we are using discounted methods. Okay, so once we get these factors from the factor table, the next step is just multiply these two, that is cash flows after tax into factor tables. So 50,000 into 0.909 gives you 45,450. 1 lakh into 0.826 gives you 82,600. 1,50,000 into 0.751 gives you 1,12,650. 2 lakh into 0.683 gives you 1,36,600, and 2,50,000 into 0.621 gives you 1,55,250 rupees. Okay, so we have got the present value of cash flows after tax. Okay, now what is the formula of NPV? It is summation of present value of cash flows after tax. Okay, so how do we get the summation of present value of the cash flows after tax? It is just the addition of all these. Okay, so 45,450 plus 82,600 plus 1,12,650 plus 1,36,600 plus 1,55,250 gives us 5,32,550. So 5,32,550 becomes your summation of present value of cash flows after tax. Okay, so summation of present value of cash flows after tax is 5,32,550 minus initial investment. Now what is the initial investment? 2 lakh rupees. So minus 2 lakh gives us 3,32,550. Okay, I am repeating, 5,32,550, that is the summation of present value of cash flows after tax minus initial investment, which is 2 lakh, gives us 3,32,550. Now what is the criteria of NPV? If NPV is greater than 0, since NPV is greater than 0, you will accept the project. So this is how you calculate NPV. Okay, I am repeating, the formula for NPV is summation of present value of cash flows after tax minus initial investment. Okay, so summation of cash flows after tax is 5,32,000, initial investment is 2 lakhs. So 5,32,550 minus 2 lakh gives us 3,32,550, which is a positive. So you accept the project. NPV is positive, so you accept the project. Now coming to PI, profitability index or benefit cost ratio, we already know the formula. The formula is summation of present value of cash flows after tax divided by initial investment. So what is the summation of present value of cash flows after tax? We have it over here, that is 5,32,550 divided by initial investment is 2 lakh. So 5,32,550 divided by 2 lakh gives us 2.663. Now what is the criteria for profitability index? If it is greater than 1, accept, less than 1, reject, equal to 1, accept or reject. In this case, your PI is greater than 1, that means you accept the project. Okay, so this is how we calculate NPV and PI for a given project. I hope you are understanding how to calculate these two things, and you have also understood the difference between discounted methods and non-discounted methods. Okay, if you remember, in non-discounted methods we used to take these cash flows directly in the formula. We never did this calculation, okay, because time value was not considered. But in case of discounted methods, time value is considered. So present value tables factors have to be considered, finding out the present values of cash flow has to be done, and then we can use it in the formula. That is the difference between discounted methods and non-discounted methods. I hope you are also clear with how to find out the factor tables, factor values using the factor tables. Okay, I'll just repeat. In this case, it was present value factor at 10%, and it is lump sum because cash flows are not uniform, so lump sum factors. So present value lump sum factor for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years at 10% is what we found out. We used those factors, multiplied it with the cash flows after tax to find out the present values of cash flows after tax, and then we found out the summation and then used it in the formula. I hope you are clear with this entire process of calculating NPV and PI. Okay, because NPV is a very important method for investment decision, which we are going to use quite frequently in the further problems. I hope you are clear with all these things. Thank you.